Welcome, everybody, to Tino's Time Wrestling. Happy New Year! It's 2022. I can't even believe we all survived 2020 and 2021. Those years just flew by. Hopefully, 2022 is so much better. I hope everybody had a safe and Merry Christmas, got all their presents that they wanted from Santa, and hopefully you didn't get too drunk last night because WWE is kicking us off right away on the first day of the year. They ain't wasting any time in 2022, and they have a new pay-per-view called WWE Day 1. And what a match card do we have on hands for ourselves. This pay-per-view, we haven't seen a pay-per-view since NXT War Games, and it just, they've had a little bit of time to build up to this, and Day 1 should be good. So, let's not waste any more time, and let's get into the headlines. Like I said, it's time for WWE Day 1 pay-per-view. Who's walking out as the Raw Tag Team Champions? RK Bro or Street Profits? Will Liv Morgan be able to dethrone Big Time Bex and take that Raw Women's Championship off of Big Time Bex and bring it to the Angry Liv girl? Who's gonna win? Edge versus The Miz. Is the Ultimate Opportunist gonna take care of the A-lister Dancing with the Stars Miz reality show? Who's gonna win? Paul Heyman's newly monster beast incarnate back, Brock Lesnar? Or is the head of the table after kicking and getting rid of Paul Heyman and firing his ass? Is Roman Reigns going to stay atop of SmackDown and continue to be the longest reigning Universal Champion ever? Let's not waste any more time and let's get into all the matches that are going to happen at Day 1. The first match on the card, it was announced on Thursday night. Cesaro and Ricochet are going to take on Holland versus Sheamus in a tag team match on the Day 1 kickoff show, streaming live on Peacock at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this tag team match should be good. We always love Cesaro, and I always talk about Cesaro, and the only thing I will say about Cesaro is I am kind of upset how they kind of just went back and just kind of haven't done anything with him since WrestleMania when he faced Seth Rollins. I was really hoping for him to get a singles run and maybe him face Nakamura for the Intercontinental Champion, but he's in a tag team match with Ricochet. Holland has been called up from NXT and he's been partnering up with Sheamus. We're not going to talk too much about this match, but I did want to mention that about Cesaro. So I'm going to take Cesaro and Ricochet to win this match. Not that I don't love Sheamus and everything, but Ricochet looked phenomenal on SmackDown a few weeks ago, and I think that Cesaro and Ricochet deserve to win this match. So I'm taking Cesaro and Ricochet to dethrone Holland and Sheamus. And now let's get on to the main card because I didn't want to waste too much time on that tag team match. I don't expect it to be too long, probably like 6 or 7 matches, and we want to get through this and we want to enjoy our New Year. So let's get in to the main card and all the matches that are going to go down at Day 1. And on the main card, the first match I want to talk about is the Raw Tag Team title match. I was just mentioned it in the headlines. It's the Street Profits versus Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro. And they've been champions for a while now, and I love the gimmicks and I love the entertainment that Riddle and Randy bring, and Randy putting on a wig and them coming out on camels and at Crown Jewel and everything. And it just, I've loved everything that RK Bro has done, and they had the RK Bro tournament to find out who was going to win and face RK Bro at Day 1, and the finals was the Street Profits versus the Mysterio family, and in the end, the Street Profits won. So now we're getting this tag team match, and this tag team match is going to be really good. I love the Street Profits. They are the only team to hold the NXT Tag Team Champions, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the Raw Tag Team Champions. But I don't think that they're gonna get past RK Bro. RK Bro is at the top of the division right now. They're at the top of Raw in general. They're on the show about 4 or 5 times every Monday night because Vince McMahon can't figure out what to do with the 3-hour time slot, then get rid of the 3-hour time slot. But that's just my opinion. But I just, I'm taking RK Bro to come out and to continuously be the Raw Tag Team Champions. So let's talk about the next match on the card, and let's go to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. On this side, on the SmackDown side, it's the Usos versus the New Day. And the Usos and New Day have had a rivalry going on forever now, people. We've seen them battle in Hell in the Cell matches, Survivor Series. We've seen them battle at every single pay-per-view, which, when, what match, tag team, 17-time, 45, R-Truth, 24/7 title reign. Like, they've been going at it since 2005 at this point. It feels like they've been going at it for 15 years. And don't get me wrong again, I love everything that they do, but sometimes I would just like to see other tag teams have the opportunity to go out and face, the Usos and the New Day. And, not that I don't love seeing these matches, and these 4 men are going to put on an absolute show. I just would have loved to see a different tag team, but that's just my opinion. But we don't want to get too much into that, so let's talk about the New Day and the Usos. The New Day and Usos are going to put on a show. They have had a best rivalry. They had the best rivalry of 2019, 2020. In the earlier, they had that amazing Hell in the Cell match. They've just battled each other. And this match is going to be 5 stars, probably, and they're going to put on a show. But in the end, I don't know why, people, but I just feel like the New Day is going to win. I can't tell you why, which way, or what, but in my gut of guts, and I don't want to go against my gut anymore because I haven't very much lately, and I'm usually right. I just have a feeling for some reason the New Day is going to win, and then they're going to be the 17-time SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That wasn't a really good Big E impression, was it at all? Please make fun of me in the comments. It will be worth it. But I'm taking the New Day to become your new SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, let's talk about a match on the SmackDown side that, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I don't know why this match is actually on the main card. It's Madcap Moss with Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. And, it would be interesting more if they added, like, a stipulation, like a street fight, or, like, one of those, like, New Year's Day street fight, or something dramatic that you want to call it. Just something where there's a stipulation involved, because I just feel like in the singles match, this match is just going to be Drew beating the hell out of Madcap, and maybe Corbin will get involved, and maybe I could be wrong, but let's be real, people. How much do we really get our hopes up with WWE anymore? I don't, because every time I do, they get my hopes up and they get let down. And now AEW's got Kyle O'Reilly, CM Punk. I could go on, and yeah, but that's not the issue. I know I keep getting off track, but it's just fun. We're just here to have fun on Tino's Time Wrestling. But I'm taking Drew McIntyre to defeat and probably beat the crap out of Madcap Moss. The next match I want to talk about, it's Edge versus The Miz. An actual singles match that will be good. Edge, the rated R superstar, versus the A-lister, The Miz, with Maurice. And, me and my friend, we've been going back and forth on this, and he said he really thought that they were going to have a tag team match, a mixed tag team match, and, Beth Phoenix has left the NXT announce table, so maybe she was going to come back for a match, and maybe that could still happen. But I really thought it was going to happen at day 1. But so far, so good. We're going to see a singles match. And this is a match, to be honest, people, I've been wanting to see for a very long time. I love Edge. He's been one of my favorites since I was growing up. And The Miz, he's that guy you love to hate. He's hysterical. He's funny. He's just that guy that you just want to, you hate him so goddamn much and you want to punch him in the face. But if you see him, you're just like, "What's up, Miz? How you doing? How's Maurice? And how's the babies? And how's your mom and everything?" And he's just that guy. So these two are two of the greatest superstars ever in the business of pro wrestling, and I think that they're gonna put on an absolute show. This could be as good as Seth Rollins versus Edge, that pretty much won match of the year inside Hell in the Cell. And obviously it can't live up to a Hell in the Cell match, but I think that these two are going to put on an absolute classic in the ring, and it's going to be phenomenal. But in the end, I'm going to take the rated R superstar. I can't go against Edge. He's the rated R. He's the ultimate opportunist. Maybe Beth will get involved, and this is where we see the build of the mixed tag team match. Because I also was looking, and I don't think that there's a pay-per-view for February or March. So this might actually be the last next pay-per-view besides NXT New Year's Evil that is this upcoming Tuesday, and I will be back here on Tino's Time Wrestling doing a pre-show and post-show for that, so you want to check that out. But I don't think there's a pay-per-view there's the Royal Rumble, but after the Royal Rumble, there is not a pay-per-view until WrestleMania. I don't know how the heck I forgot about the Royal Rumble, people, but yeah, so it's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to see it, but like I said, I'm taking Edge, the Ultimate Opportunist, to take this win and beat the crap out of The Miz, and but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Beth Phoenix get involved, and they build to the mixed tag team match that is supposed to happen at WrestleMania this year, and I've heard rumors about for a while now. Now that we talked about the Rated R superstar Edge and the A-lister The Miz beating the crap out of each other and how the Edge is going to win, now, before we get to the last 3 matches on the card, I want to talk about a couple matches that could possibly happen. And I even saw one that was announced for the card, but then they took it off. One match that I saw that was announced, but then they kind of took it off and nobody really said anything, was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. Sami Zayn won that Battle Royal a few weeks ago, or actually it was just last week, it was on Christmas Eve. But Sami Zayn won the match and now gets an Intercontinental title match, and we all thought that it was going to happen at day 1. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen as of now. But you know how WWE is. They might add it to the card later on, or they might just add it on and it might just happen when the pay-per-view happens. Who knows? Vince might change the whole card an hour before the show. We have a Raw Women's Tag Team Championship match that could happen. Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH are the number 1 contenders. And Carmella and Queen Zelina Vega are the tag team champions, and they have accepted the challenge by Rhea and Nikki. So that is another match that could possibly happen. And also the United States Championship. Damian Priest has been kind of on a run, and he looked like he turned heel last time we saw him at Crown Jewel. So maybe we'll see him put the title on the line at day 1. Hopefully he does, because I'd love to see Damian Priest. But now, also, before we get back to the matches, let's talk about a couple people that were released. Jeff Hardy, earlier on in the month, I might have mentioned it a little bit on Crown Jewel post-show, but if I didn't, Jeff Hardy was released from the WWE, and there were rumors out there that he was offered rehab because he was caught with drinking or whatever was going on, and I want to say it, and it's one of those things that, whatever it was, I just want to say, I hope you're okay, Jeff. You're one of the best superstars out there. You've been one of my favorites my whole childhood. And, hopefully we see you again in professional wrestling sometime. Even if it is in AEW, maybe you get back together with your Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. We could bring back the Hardy Boys. That would be awesome because we always love the Hardy Boys. So I just wanted to mention that. And there was also one thing I also wanted to show you guys. Speaking of the Hardy Boys, this past Christmas was a week ago and we talked about it, and so for Christmas my mom came in clutch and she got me the Hardy Boys 2-pack Funko Pops, and I wanted to show you guys because I just think that these things are really, really cool, and the Matt and Jeff Hardy ones are even cooler. I don't know if you can tell, but they're in the attire that they wore at WrestleMania when they returned in that fatal 4-way ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles. And, Matt Hardy looks like he's Matt Hardy, the unbroken one, and Jeff Hardy's just Jeff Hardy. But I just thought this was really cool, and I wanted to show you guys, and I know that I talk about my collection all the time, and we're going to have a Tino's Time episode special, where I'm going to show you my whole collection and everything like that, and you see the stuff behind me. There's more that you can't see because the way the camera's angled. There's some in front of me that I want to show you guys. So I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek. And while we were talking about the Hardy Boys and Jeff Hardy, I just thought that was something cool that I could show you guys, and you get a little sneak peek of all the crazy stuff that I have. And look out for that Tino's Time special. I was going to do it earlier on in the month, but I thought it'd be cooler to do it while after I get all the stuff for Christmas and everything like that. So I just wanted to mention that, and I know I'm kind of getting off track talking about my collection, so let's get back to day 1. before also, you know what, there was one more thing I wanted to mention before we get back to day one. Toni Storm was also released a couple days ago. It was actually, I think it was last night, to be honest. And it's one of those things that she went back home, back to the UK, and there was something that I saw out there that she requested her release because WWE wasn't using her. So again, with two people that I really Jeff Hardy growing up loving, and Toni Storm, hopefully you're okay, and again, hopefully we see you in professional wrestling again. I saw Britt Baker put Toni Storm on her Instagram, so maybe we'll see Toni Storm go to AEW too. Either way, I just wanted to give a shout out to both of them because they are one of my favorite superstars now. Back then, forever, like back then, now, and forever, like WWE likes to say. So I just wanted to give a shout out and talk about them for a second. But let's get back to to day one. I almost said new day. It's a new day. Yes, it is. It's day one. It's the New Year's. Let's go. But let's get back to the matches that are going to happen at day one. And we were just mentioning Toni Storm, and she got a SmackDown Women's Championship match versus Charlotte Flair, and she ended up losing. But, that was one of the matches that I thought was very good. And I really thought that she was going to be elevated and be used more. But, sadly, Toni Storm is not. But let's talk about one woman that is. And let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship match. It's big time Bex, the Raw Women's Champion, versus You Only Live Once, the ultimate underdog. She reminds me of Rey Mysterio as a woman. She's the Rey Mysterio woman. It's awesome. She's the ultimate underdog. Liv Morgan has been on an absolute run for a couple months, about 4 or 5 months now. She was in the Riot Squad and she did her thing with Ruby Soho, Ruby Riot, and Sarah Logan. And now she's finally getting the opportunity that she deserves. She's fought her way. She got screwed by the referee because the referee didn't see Becky holding onto the ropes. And now it's time for Liv Morgan to get her chance and it's time for Liv to show her everybody what she's got, and it's time for her to have her moment and take the title off of big time Bex. Becky, don't get me wrong, I love you, Becky. You're the best. You're going to be one of the best Hall of Famers, women wrestlers of this day, of this generation. But it's time to move over and it's time to give Liv her shot. This match is going to be awesome. I think that, these two women are going to put on an absolute show. But obviously, if you see the way I'm talking, you know where I'm going with this one. I'm taking Liv Morgan to dethrone big time Bex. It's time for Liv to have her moment, have her time to shine, and prove everybody that she could hold that Raw Women's Championship up. And she did it for all the girls that didn't think, and little boys maybe out there, that didn't think that they could do anything. And it's time to show that you can do it and you never give up on your dreams. So I'm taking Liv Morgan to take home that Raw Women's Championship. God, I got real emotional for that one, didn't I, guys? Woo! I just really want Liv Morgan to win. She deserves it and everything that she's been through. And I just think it's her time to shine. But now that we talked about the women and the Raw Women's Championship, we were not going to see Charlotte Flair defend her title on the show. So that is another match that could possibly happen. I thought maybe we could see a Toni Storm versus Charlotte Flair rematch, but that's probably not going to happen now because Toni Storm was released. But anyway, hopefully Charlotte will be able to put the title on the line, at least versus somebody. Now, let's talk about the last two matches on the card, and let's talk about the WWE Championship match and the Universal Championship match. First, let's talk about the WWE Championship Fatal 4-Way match. This match involves Seth frickin' Rollins, Monday Night Rollins. He thinks he's the King Messiah of everything still. Big E, the WWE Champion, Big E, cashed in Money in the Bank on Bobby Lashley and won the WWE Championship. Hell yeah, Big E. I'm happy you finally got your opportunity. The other guys, Kevin Owens, thank God he went on and signed a couple-year extension deal and he's staying with WWE, and at least he can't go to AEW. And lastly, we have Lashley. I missed when Leo Rush did that. But we have Lashley with MVP Maybe even the Hurt Business. Did you guys know the Hurt Business was still together? I didn't even know that until Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin came out like last week on Monday. I'm like, oh crap, these two are still together. Okay then. But we have a fatal four-way. And you know, this match was supposed to be a singles match. It was supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Big E. But then we saw Kevin Owens be added to the match, and then we saw Lashley be added to the match, and that's how it was added to a fatal four-way. And don't get me wrong, I love fatal four-ways. I love when there's no disqualification. I love when everybody can beat the crap out of each other, and that means they can use steel steps and ladders and chairs and everything that they should use, but they don't use, and they say it's disqualification. But, you know, hopefully they'll prove us wrong, and hopefully they'll just beat the crap out of each other, and they'll destroy the arena. That would just be phenomenal. So I just cannot wait. These four men are just going to beat the crap out of each other. I just cannot wait to see what they do. It's just going to be awesome. And, you know, it's just going to be a brawl. And I'm hoping that this match lasts. It's about 20-25 minutes. And I hope we see each guy have their moment and put on their show and do their finisher like we all know that they always like to do. So, you know, yeah. But these men, like I say, I know I said so yeah a lot, whatever. That's okay. But these men are going to beat the crap out of each other. And I cannot wait for it. But when the dust settles and after these men beat the crap out of each other, I am taking Big E to continue his reign as the WWE Champion. I don't know why, but I feel like Big E is going to continuously hold on to the WWE Championship until WrestleMania. I think he deserves the main event WrestleMania. He's worked his ass off. He was with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He was the United States Champion. He's been WWE Champion, Tag Team Champions 1,500 times with the New Day. I'm just happy that Big E gets his time to shine as WWE Champion, and now I think it's time for him to have the ultimate thing that they look forward to in WWE and have the moment to main event night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. Remember, WrestleMania is in Dallas, Texas, in Jerry's World, and it's 2 nights this year again. So we might see Big E main event night 1 or night 2, but either way, he's taking that WWE Championship away from those 3 guys. He's gonna take them and he's gonna make them the Big E. He's gonna do the big ending to all 3 of them, and he's gonna take his title and run. So I'm taking Big E to take the WWE title and keep it for himself. Now, it's finally time to talk about the match that everybody has been waiting for me to talk about. They're like, Trent, why are you talking about your collection show? Why are you talking about these other matches? We don't care about any of these other matches. We care about this one, and it's for the Universal Championship. It's the head of the table, the big dog, the guy that signs the checks for everybody in the WWE, Roman Reigns, and his 2 right hand and left hand man, Jimmy and Jey Uso, versus Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Champion. He's got his advocate back in Paul Heyman, it seems, after Roman Reigns fired him, did the Superman punch, and Brock Lesnar revealed that Paul Heyman knew that he's been around since he returned in WWE at SummerSlam. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Paul Heyman come out with Brock Lesnar, and he comes out on the microphone and he does most undisputed, reigning, defending. I tried to do my best impersonation of Paul Heyman, but it probably didn't work. Warning, put your volume down. I know that wouldn't have mattered anyway now, but still. So I think that these men are going to beat the crap out of each other. And I hope that there's no disqualification. This is a match, you know, we talked about it with the Fatal 4-Way match having no DQ because it's a triple threat in Fatal 4-Way. There's no disqualification no matter what. So, but you know, in singles matches and, you know, with title matches, there is no disqualification actually because the title is on the line. So I don't think there is any disqualifications unless they change it or whatever. Hopefully there is no disqualifications and we just see these guys beat the hell out of each other. Maybe Roman will beat Paul Heyman with a kendo stick. That'd be pretty funny to watch. Just beat the crap out of him. Maybe Jimmy will. That'd be great too. Either way, I just want to see them have some type of a stipulation to this match because, you know, I've really enjoyed the Brock Lesnar that has returned. He's coming out in overalls. And this is the Brock Lesnar. I was thinking about it while I was watching Smackdown. I'm like, you know, this is the rivalry that we wanted to see back when they fought at WrestleMania so long ago. WrestleMania, was it 32, 31? I think it was 31. Yeah, they fought at WrestleMania 31, and this is what we wanted to see. Why did it take so long for us to see this? I don't understand why. But, I'm finally happy that we're getting it, and, I don't know which way this is really going to go. I can't give you a clear-cut answer, because if Roman wins and he continues to be one of the longest reigning champions in WWE history. But if Brock Lesnar wins, then it's like, we just going to go back to having Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman become the advocate. And no one wants to see that again for 7 months and Brock Lesnar not come back. If Brock wants to come back every Friday and do his thing and everything, that's fine. But I swear, if Brock Lesnar wins this match and never returns until he comes back for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and then he leaves again, no. This man needs to stay here and continue to fight all year round. So I want to take Brock Lesnar, but I'm really hoping in my hearts of hearts that Roman continues to win. And not that I don't want Brock Lesnar to win. I kind of do, and I kind of want to take him. Like, I'll be rooting for Brock Lesnar a little bit, but I know if Roman wins, at least I know Roman will be there every week, right? We want to see that ugly blue title every single week. At least if it's there, and they could say that that's the top title on SmackDown. What are we going to do? Have Shinsuke Nakamura that doesn't defend the title be the top title guy on SmackDown? That can't happen. So I'm taking Roman Reigns to continue to be the head of the table, the big dog, the best in the world. CM Punk is the best in the world, but you know what I mean. Roman Reigns is going to continue to be, he's just going to continue to run the table and be the king of WWE. And he's keeping that Universal Championship. So there you have it. I've given you all the matches. I've given you some predictions. I even gave you a spoiler on a Tino's Time special. I talked about my collection for a little bit too long. We did our thing. We talked about 8 amazing matches. I hope everybody had a safe and happy New Year. Hopefully you didn't get too drunk last night and you're going to miss Day 1 pay-per-view in Tino's Time, Day 1 pre-show. Make sure to get healthy, get happy, go get a coffee, go get a shot of something and get better, because we need to have you watching Day 1. So I hope everybody enjoys the pay-per-view. Get some food, get some snacks. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe. Go like at Tino's Time 1996, where we do our thing. We talk fantasy football, wrestling, baseball. You just help your boy Tino out. I only need 2 more people to get to 100. So keep smashing that subscribe button, and I appreciate everybody's support. And until Day 1 is over and we do a Day 1 post show, and then we get ready for New Year's Evil. It's New Year's Evil time this upcoming Tuesday on the USA Network. So again, until we do the WWE Day 1 post show, this is your boy Tino signing out.